Now we're gonna go live on my Facebook. Hey everybody! So today's video is gonna be about why is consistency so important to your natural hair moisture routine. Now I'm going live on my YouTube channel as well, so just making sure that I'm there. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about why consistency is very, very important when you are trying to figure out your natural hair moisture routine. So the reason why consistency is so important is that if you are not consistent with your products, you're not consistent with your techniques, you're not consistent with how often you moisturize your hair, everything you're doing is in vain. Like you are just wasting your time. Because if you're going to put all that time in to just slack off later, then you're literally saying to yourself, okay, let me just put all this effort in just so I can waste my time. And just so that I don't get to see the results later on. And then I'm basically going backwards. So that doesn't make sense, obviously. And we don't want that. So my advice would be to find what works for you. It's very easy to slack off or to stop doing what you're doing when you are trying to copy other people's routine. And that's why I say find what works for you. Do not make it complicated. Natural hair does not need to be complicated. Find what works for you. If you're doing the bare minimum and it's working for you, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Don't feel pressure to pre-poo, shampoo, decondition, condition, detangle, and then style, and then use a leave-in, a moisturizer, and then a styling product, and then a gel. You don't need to do all of that. Natural hair does not need to do all that. Honestly, I don't recommend that because that's just way too much. I never did that. It's just way too much. So, yeah, do what works for you. And when you do figure out what works for you, stick with it. Stick with it. I know it's so hard with all these different trends coming out, with all these different techniques coming out, all these different styles coming out, all these different products coming out. But you need to stick with it. You need to really stick with it because the people who grow their hair the longest are the people who don't follow trends or who don't try every single different product that comes out there. They're not product junkies and they stick with what they know works for their hair, and they're very simple. And usually they use something that is natural as well, something that a natural oil or natural butter or a natural, I don't know, something that's natural, like aloe vera juice. And they use that consistently in their hair routine. And I know that I said I was going to talk about the scalp today, but I just feel like this was more important to do before doing that. Because if I'm going to talk about all the stuff, I want to talk about consistency first, because a lot of people have these problems of dryness and breakage and excessive shedding and all these different problems. And it's because you're not being consistent with what you're using. You're not being consistent with what you're doing. And you're trying to follow the next trend or follow the next naturals routine. And that might not work for you because you have to remember that, weather plays a part. Environment plays a part. A person's hair profile plays a part. And all of these things in combination will play out will have an effect on how that person's hair responds and how your hair responds. And you guys probably not in the same environment, and you guys definitely don't have the same hair profile, so you're not going to have the same outcome. So when it comes to your natural hair moisture routine, this includes deep conditioning, definitely. Whether you do it the unconventional way of using conditioner, or you use maybe butters and oils, because hot oil treatments are also deep conditioning and intensive conditioning treatments, because they strengthen your hair and they feed your hair the nutrients it's lacking. If you didn't already know that you can use oils and butters to deep condition your hair. Just make sure to put water or aloe vera juice before you do that. And use heat if you have low porosity hair. If you have low porosity hair, I 100% recommend using heat when you're deep conditioning or you're doing some type of intensive treatment. I absolutely 100% um, uh, recommend it. Or you can use steam. That's something that people are doing. A lot of people on YouTube are doing now. They're steaming their hair, and I have tried steaming in the past, but I just wasn't consistent with it. I prefer having, sitting down, having something on my head, and just letting it do its thing, because like I ain't got time to be using, like, using that handheld steamer. And I know you can get the ones where you sit under it, but the thing is it doesn't cover your whole surface area like of your head, so it's annoying and I don't want to have to deal with that. It's just extra. So basically, after you have deconditioned and or you're steamed your hair, you want to make sure that you're locking in that all that moisture. You don't want to go ahead and just leave your hair like that. You want to make sure you are using some sort of leave-in conditioner, whether that's homemade DIY or that's you're using a store-bought product. Use some sort of conditioner or conditioning products, because this is going to help you lock in the product. And you don't have to use a lot of product, especially if you have fine hair, or your hair is low porosity, or your hair easily has gets product buildup, like my hair easily gets product buildup. You want to make sure that you are and you're not using you're using just the right amount of product, and you will get to know, once you get to know your hair, you will know how much you need to be using on a daily basis or an every other day basis. So yes, what you need to be doing is that you need to be locking in that moisture, whether you use the LLC method, the LLCO method, or the LC method. I use the LC method. I don't use oil. Oil is already in the products that I use, so I don't need to use oil or butters. And the products that I use, I make myself. So they have oils in them already, so I don't bother going to put extra oil in my hair. I don't want my hair to be greasy. Plus, I have product buildup. And that's something you need to be paying attention with your hair. You don't want to have product buildup because, once you see that your hair is starting to have some kind of product buildup, you want to make sure that you are going ahead to wash your hair. Whether you use a natural cleanser or you use commercial shampoo, wash that build up off, because it's because our hair and our scalp is close together, and you don't want your scalp to have product buildup, because if your scalp has product buildup, that's going to hinder your growth. Scalp Your scalp should be clean, and I'm going to talk about that more in depth tomorrow. um if you're having problems with hair growth, it's probably because you're not washing your scalp enough, or you're not treating your scalp enough during the week. And I'm going to touch on your moisture routine for your scalp during the week in a few minutes, because that's another whole thing on itself that we don't talk about at all in the natural hair community. We don't emphasize on it enough, because that is the foundation of where hair growth comes from. And you need to like make sure that you are taking care of your scalp. But I'll get to that in a second. So, yeah, once you have moisturized your hair and you see that your hair is, it's smooth, it's supple, it's not feeling dry or crispy. And once it's fully dry and, it's still feeling like very soft and, fluffy and pillowy, you know what I mean? Then you've done your job correctly and your hair has received the moisture very well. So, yes, find what works for you and stick with it. Do not get sidetracked. Do not get sidetracked. I mean it. Do not get sidetracked. Yes, you can implement things into your moisture routine. But if you have something that's working for you, the saying goes, don't fix it if it ain't broke. You feel me? Okay. I mean that. Like, I seriously mean that. Don't don't break what is not broken. Okay. So yeah, um, the things that I would recommend that you use for moisturizing your hair, especially during the week, is just so you don't get product buildup. Make sure you use products that have water in it, or just use water and then seal it in with like a conditioner, and just like either use water, something that contains water, or aloe vera juice. That's the next best thing after water. And that's what I have been using. And I love aloe vera juice. Like, I can notice the difference. My hair is shinier. It's more moisturized. It's more softer, like so much more softer. Um, and in conjunction with the products that I make for my hair, it's amazing. It's amazing. So now we're going to talk about your scalp, taking care of your scalp during the week. Um, hold on. Taking care of your scalp during the week. Um, because this is so important, and I have to really emphasize on this, because if you're neglecting your scalp, and you're a person who has like dry scalp, you have itchy scalp like me, you're causing your scalp to be angry at you. Like, let me just put it straight there for you, because because if you don't take care of your scalp, like, your scalp is not going to take care of itself by itself. um I know that, the natural sebum from our scalp is something that is supposed to condition our hair. And because we have kinky coily hair, or curly hair, or kinky curly hair, or whatever, um it's not able to travel down our hair, so it gets stuck there. So it, like, it builds up on itself. Just sebum by itself builds up on our scalp. So we have to make sure that, if our scalp is feeling itchy one day, we have to use a natural treatment. Use only natural things on your scalp, and use pure essential oils mixed with light oils like grapeseed oil, or like maybe olive oil, and mix it in with the pure essential oils, and use that on your scalp. If you have like itchy scalp, do not put anything that, or leave anything on your scalp. Do not leave anything on your scalp that is filled with chemicals, because that will seep into your bloodstream, and you don't want that. And that will cause havoc on your scalp as well. So what you want to do is you want to use natural stuff, natural ingredients. Like, when I have itchy scalps, or itchy scalp, I make sure that I, spray it with some aloe vera juice and tea tree oil. I just take my spray bottle, I put in some water, I put in some tea tree oil, and I put in some aloe vera juice, and that relieves my itchy scalp. And I've been doing that recently, and that really, really works for me. Before, what I would do is I would just take put some a dab of like a light oil, like olive oil or grapeseed oil, and then put the tea tree oil on my hand, and just like mix it in my hands, kind of warm it up, and then just put it on my scalp. And if I notice my scalp is unusually itchy even after washing it, I would make sure to do a hot oil treatment, because they're just very soothing. Like, doing hot oil treatments on your scalp is very soothing, and it's very calming for the scalp. You want to do things that's going to calm your scalp down, and is going to soothe your scalp. Or, using something like peppermint oil is going to like nourish the scalp and really just feed it what it needs if it's lacking anything. So that's what I would recommend with, taking care of your scalp. If your scalp is dry, use aloe vera juice on it. You don't need to put oils on it, because remember, oils seal in moisture. They don't provide moisture. Butters don't provide moisture. They seal in moisture. You need to go for water. If your scalp feels dry, it doesn't need to be more dry. It doesn't need oil or butter to seal in that dryness. That's gonna make it worse. So what you need to do is get some sort of water, or some sort of natural ingredient that has water in it, and put it on your scalp. You can use the aloe vera leaf treatment that people are doing on YouTube now. I haven't tried that, but it looks really good. Because I use aloe vera juice, and I really, really like it. And for my scalp, it's very soothing. It's really, really cooling and soothing, and especially when I mix it in with tea tree oil or peppermint oil, amazing. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I would recommend. If you're not already doing that and you're having problems with your scalp, I would recommend that you do treatments like that. And I will I would in the next video, I will I will make a list and find like I'll do some more research, and find some like maybe DIY scalp treatments that you know people with who suffer from like itchy scalps or dandruff or dry scalps that you guys can use to like kind of remedy those problems. So honestly, you have to keep it simple. You have to make sure that whatever products, moisturizing products you find for your hair, you stick with it and you don't keep trying different products. I'm not saying don't try new products, because there might be better products that work better for your hair. But what I'm saying is that do not keep switching it up, like you're using Shea Moisture one time or you're using Ashken Divine by Nature products the other time. Or you're using like another line another week and then another line the other. No, that's not going to work. I recommend using the same products for at least 6 months to a year. And if you feel like your hair has gotten used to the products and you feel like it's not working for your hair anymore, clarify your hair. Clarify your hair either naturally or use a clarifying commercial shampoo. That will reset your hair and you will see that it's not the products that are working for you. Just have a whole bunch of build up. Okay. You just have a whole bunch of build up. That's never happened to me where products stop working for me. And this is why I say cleanse your scalp. It is important. Cleanse your hair. It is important because product buildup is a real thing. Product buildup is a real thing. I'm definitely going to do a video on product buildup because people be co-washing out here thinking they clean their scalp and they clean their hair and they're not. They're just piling product on top of product and So yeah. So basically from this video, what we've talked about in this video is that you want to be consistent. You want to make sure that whatever works for your hair, stick with it. When you find out what works for your hair, don't follow trends. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Don't try, like you can take from someone's routine. You can take from someone's routine, yeah. But don't take their whole routine and then use it on your hair because that's not going to work. But whatever you find that works for you, stick to it. If you want to implement more nourishing treatments into your hair, do it. See if it works. If it don't, stop. Just as simple as that. Keep it simple. It does not have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated, queen. It does not have to be complicated. Keep it simple and repeat. So that is all for this live. I know someone messaged me and she told me that she was like finding the lives very helpful. I don't know if I should say her name or not. I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not, so I'm not going to say it. But thank you so much for letting me know. Like, honestly, I felt like, maybe this is not really helping anyone, but you just like telling me that just really humbled me. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. And I know that, we're on different times, so I have to come on here at this time. And maybe one day our times will match. And people will come onto the live while I'm on the live. But that's okay. I'm not giving up because I need to give out this information. Natural hair does not need to be complicated. And natural hair is easily manageable. It's not hard to take care of natural hair. I want you guys to get that out of your head. It is not hard to take care of natural hair. It is not. You just have to understand your hair, learn your hair, and understand what works for your hair, and keep it moving and repeat that. You feel me? Okay, so I'm gonna go now, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.